Hello. Welcome back to Learn Economia. Today we are going to discuss the idea of neuroeconomics. So what does it mean by this? We are going to explore the details of neuroeconomics in this session. So let's get started for the discussion. Moving on to the idea of neuroeconomics, we could find that neuroeconomics is something that is interdisciplinary. So what is it all about interdisciplinary? It shows a mix of different disciplines. So you're taking certain aspects, taking certain ideas from various disciplines. You're not completely considering a discipline, or you're not completely considering all these disciplines here. Instead, we are taking certain ideas from various disciplines, and then after making that, we are combining these ideas from various disciplines. So, which all are these disciplines? The first discipline is neuroscience. Then we are taking elements and ideas from psychology, and also, of course, since it's neuroeconomics, we do have ideas taken from economics as well. Now, neuroeconomics is now a separate branch. Definitely, it's an interdisciplinary area, but now it has emerged as a separate branch of economics, of neuroscience, and so on. So, what is the intention of neuroeconomics? When it becomes a separate branch, what is its intention? It studies the way in which brain makes decision. So how is our brain functioning? This is something that we study in biology, right? Especially zoology. And specifically, when we connect other way in which our brain performs, when we connect the same with making of economic decision, this comes under what is called neuroeconomics. So it studies the way in which we make economic choices, the way in which we assess risk, and also the way in which we process rewards. So all these are subject matters of neuroeconomics. So neuroeconomics is a progressing field right now, and also it is something which has already established its own position in the economic arena as well as in the neuroscience arena. So let's proceed to the details of neuroeconomics here. Neuroeconomics would be using certain tools, and these tools would be brain imaging, electroencephalography, and also, of course, since we are doing certain art related elements, since we are having certain art related elements in economics as well, we will be carrying out certain behavioral experiments. We know that economics is both an art as well as science, right? So we will be carrying out certain behavioral experiments too. So what is it all about behavior experiments? So we will be analyzing behavior. Behavior is analyzed. Now, neuroeconomics, as we have understood it as an interdisciplinary field, will help us to understand the neural mechanisms which would be underlying the economic decision making. So we are talking about economic entities. Economic entities like producers, consumers, etc., they will always make some or the other decision. So we call these as economic decisions. And what is actually driving us to take a particular decision? Again, when we are given different choices, how are we choosing a single option from the given choices? What is the mechanism that is going on in our brain to enable us to go for a single option from a given choice or from a set of choices? So There is some neural mechanisms going on within our brain, and neuroeconomics specifically try to understand these neural mechanisms that would be underlying the economic decision making. So what it does is it would be investigating the way in which brain process information. The brain would be processing information, and also when you're given several options or when you're given several choices, you evaluate each of these options. Each of these options are studied in detail, right? You will think about each of these options in detail, and then you go for that particular option which you think is right in that given context. So the same kind of mechanism happens in the examination hall as well. So what you would be doing, especially when you are dealing with a multiple choice question, you will be given options. Most possibly 4 options would be given to you, and if you're not sure about the answer, what you would be doing here, you would be analyzing each of the options and you try to relate it with the question. And thus, you will study each of these options in detail and you try to match each of these options with a question, and you will choose that particular option, which would be the one that will go in a suitable fashion, in the most suitable fashion with a question. So it would be the most matching option with a question, right? So your brain is helping you to do this process. And your brain is thinking a lot. Definitely, there is brain processing of information happening. So these all elements would be learned under neuroeconomics. So what happens here? Brain will be helping us to understand certain context, and brain would be thinking and give us some information and we would be acting, right? Brain would be analyzing the information that you have, and then on the basis of this information, brain thinks and give you some decision. So this is the decision that you would be taking. So neuroeconomics would help us to understand more about human behavior. So what is it all about human behavior? Just think about a person, a consumer in a market. A consumer in a market means this person is there to purchase some commodity. So when he takes the commodity and when he asks the shopkeeper regarding the price of the commodity, he would be actually trying to relate the price of the commodity with the value of the commodity, the utility that the commodity gives to the consumer. So he would be matching the price and the utility. Definitely, of course, utility is something that you cannot quantify because it's something that you feel, it's something that you experience, right? But at the same time, some processing would be going on in your brain. The brain would be analyzing all these kinds of information, and that the brain later would help you to take a better decision. So the human behavior in different economic contexts would be something that is being driven by the thought process that is going on in your brain. And all these are subject matters of neuroeconomics again. So let's consider what all would be considered under neuroeconomics. Neuroeconomics include which all aspects? So here is the key aspects that you consider under neuroeconomics. First, element that we have in economics that appear to be a subject matter of neuroeconomics is utility theory. So what is utility? We know that it's want satisfying power of a commodity. Want satisfying power of a good or a commodity, right? So as far as this utility theory is concerned, for every good, your brain would be computing the utility. Sometimes it might not be computation, but it might be some valuation that happens. So because utility cannot be computed mostly in terms of numerical terms. So what the brain does here is that it will go for a valuation. Then it will assign a subjective value here, because the value that you will be attaching to a particular product might not be the values that some other person will be attaching to the same product. It is all subjective. It will differ from person to person, right? And then this is what would drive you to take a choice. This drives you to take a choice. So that would be your choice. So your brain is helping you a lot to go for the right choice. Now, what about risk and uncertainty? We know that risk and uncertainty are certain important aspects that we covered in economics, right? But when we consider neuroeconomics, risk and uncertainty too have a role here. Definitely, neuroeconomics investigates how brain would be evaluating risk and uncertainty. So why should you be evaluating risk and uncertainty? So just think about a scenario where you are about to make a decision and now you're confused. For example, you have passed your school and now you are ready to join some course for pursuing your graduation. Various courses are available. So you could have courses like graduation available. Then you could have diploma courses. Then you are thinking about some employment, or else you might be thinking about pursuing some arts related area and going to something related to films. You might be interested in acting, so you think that I might try my luck there as well. So you are having multiple options here, but your parents are saying that you cannot actually take a mix of these, but you can just focus on one. So that is the only thing you can do right now. Now you are confused. So what to take? Which one to go for? So you would be analyzing the possibilities when you go for graduation. You might be analyzing the possibility when you go for diploma. You might be analyzing the possibility when you go for employment. You would be analyzing the possibility when you go for films. So you will see the opportunities in all these areas. You will see the risk element in all these areas. You will see the uncertainty elements in all these areas. It's not like you are completely trying to go for accurate predictions, but you just go for some kind of estimation with the available information, right? So after evaluating the cost and benefit associated with all these different options, you will go for one particular option that will give you more benefit and that will incur you less cost, right? So who is actually helping you to take all these kinds of evaluation and investigation as well as decision making? Definitely your brain is doing this for you. So that is again a subject matter of neuroeconomics. Now let's analyze more. What about social decision making? So we know that there exists a very strong connection between social and economic aspects. So society and economy. So these are two different aspects, or we could find that two sides of the same coin. Now, in certain aspects or in certain instances, definitely you will be requiring some social decisions, or else you might be taking some decisions in the social setting as well, right? So here, what happens to your brain? Definitely your brain would be evaluating and exploring certain things. Your brain would be processing social cues as well as definitely that too would be influencing your economic decision. Here comes the role of culture. Here comes the role of social rules. and so on. You know that social rules is something that is a set of unwritten rules, but you are obliged to follow these rules, the rules of the society. Again, culture. Every uh, particular region would be having its own culture. Every tradition would be having its own culture. Every religion would be having its own tradition and culture. So these are certain social elements that you consider when you go for decision making. So your brain would be actually analyzing such kind of social elements too, and would be enabling you to take a decision that matches with or that goes with these cultural elements, social rules, etc., your responsibilities, etc., etc. So there also, this brain is helping you a lot. So this is again yet another aspect that you will be having under neuroeconomics. Now, what about something called intertemporal choice? Intertemporal choice is something that is very complex. So why it is complex? So you need to take into consideration the effect of decision that you take today on your future. So definitely whatever you do today would be influencing your future, right? If you're a student, if you're studying today, definitely your future would be bright. And if you're not studying today and you are lazy and you're just spending your time very lavishly, going to movies, actually enjoying with your friends, and in that case, what will be your future? Definitely, it would be a dull future. Again, it would be a total waste. I'm not saying that you cannot hang out with your friends and all, but definitely you have to give some adequate time for your studies as well, right? So your brain is actually weighing all these kinds of different possibilities. So it will weigh the immediate rewards against the delayed rewards. So right now, if you're studying, it might be something difficult for you. You might be thinking that all my friends are actually hanging around. They are watching movies and they are enjoying. They are moving to different places. They are watching movies, everything. But now my parents are not allowing me to go for these, but they're telling me to spend more time for studies. So in that case, right now you think that there is no reward. But later on, what happens is that you might be getting a reward. You will be getting a reward. Most possibly, this would be happening, and that would be a delayed reward, right? You are not getting reward immediately because you are studying now. You are spending your time focusing on your studies. You might not be thinking that it's a reward right now, but later on you will be getting a reward, and that is delayed reward. So it's all about a choice to make here, because you are given two options. This is immediate reward. Immediate reward. The next one is delay reward. So your parents are also saying that you have these two options. Which is the one that you would like to go for? If you go for immediate reward, definitely your future would be dull. If you go for delay reward, your future would be bright. So you can choose whether you should have a bright future or dull future. So again, this is a subject matter of neuroeconomics. The choice that you make here is a subject matter of neuroeconomics. So altogether, we could find that neuroeconomics is something that considers a kind of mix of insights from multiple disciplines. So what happens? You will be considering a unique perspective on how our brain neural process influence every single economic decision that you are making. So all these are subject matters of neuroeconomics. So neuroeconomics is something which is very vast, very complex, and still evolving. So that's all. I hope You could get some idea related to neuroeconomics. That's it for today. And you can download the Learn Economy app where you will be getting the previous year question papers and answers, free study materials, live as well as recorded classes, and free MCQ-based weekly tests. Just do one thing, just click onto the link that I'll be providing in the description box. And also you can join our free Telegram community by clicking onto the link that I'll be giving in the description box. That's it. You can again like, share as well as subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.